And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is early as I put my glasses on, best I can here. Hold on for a sec. Let me just readjust stuff. Yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this special Venmo Cash App Super Chat 43rd birthday celebration. Yes, we are live. It is about 6:51 in the morning, about 5 to 6 minutes later than I wanted to start. But of course, I was getting myself some coffee and everything to, get myself up, to wake myself up a little bit. Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been 43 years today um, since I was born since I was born on July 25th, 1979. It's crazy to imagine. And I'll tell you, I've gone and been through a lot throughout my entire life. If you, I've been through a lot throughout my entire life, and I already have friends and that I know of wishing me a happy birthday from uh, from schoolmates at Oskaloosa High to teachers and parents of my friends, all wishing me a happy birthday. And again, it's it's hard to it's hard to believe of it's like I said, it's been 43 years and all that. And hold on for a second here. Sorry about that. I don't know why it did that. Oh, it's the fandom site. That's why it always does stuff like that. I don't know why it did that. Yeah, I'm just reading something that Frank Hill sent me here, and basically one of the news items that came out of San Diego Comic Con yet is over this weekend was the whole thing about Tiny Toons is, and of course I did a big old audio on this, and if you listen to the audio, hopefully you've covered your ears because believe me, the way I start off that audio is not for the faint of heart, if you know what I mean. Uh, because yeah, it was basically basically what I basically what it was that I went on there and uh oh, was OBS. Okay, I do apologize. I don't know what happened to the OBS studio. Disconnected and reconnected. Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys still hear me? I do apologize for that. But yeah, it disconnected and then reconnected. I don't know what happened. I'm always thinking to myself, why doesn't, Well, here's some breaking news coming out, but I'll get to that in a moment. Um, you know, I don't know why they just don't. These PCs even recently just come out with notifications saying, "Hey, we're doing an update," or "Hey, we're doing a download for something." I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's kind of stupid, if you know what I mean, that they just let that happen and then everybody loses almost anything, almost everything. So yeah, I just wish they would address that because it's something that will get on people's nerves, not just mine. But yeah, um, what I was trying to say about the Tiny Toons thing, um, like I said, I did an audio video on that, and let's just say you might want to cover your ears when you hear it because it's loud. At least the beat, most of it is loud. Um, and the reason most of it is loud is mainly due to the fact that I'm I'm in shock, if you will. I'm in shock over the decision that in the new Tiny Toons show, Luniversity, they're going to make um, they're going to make Buster and Babs twin siblings instead of no relation. And a lot of people pointed out that that does not make sense. That's not a good idea because it's going to make all these this previous incarnation that we know of Buster and Babs very awkward. So so hopefully they'll change that in the near future. Hopefully they'll change that. But yeah, um, one of the other things I just looked on here, I was just looking on Twitter. Apparently, because everybody's been talking about the Vince McMahon situation and Stephanie and Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan being named co-CEOs, and Triple H, getting back his power, some kind of power. Um, but now we're hearing this. Apparently, according to Fightful Select, and what a birthday gift this is for me. Holy crap! Um, Triple H has taken over as head of WWE Creative and will resume all responsibilities over WWE television effective immediately, and that Bruce Pritchard has officially been demoted. That's pretty cool. But but how much um, but how much change will go into that? And then here's some other news. Kevin Dunn expected to leave WWE following Vince McMahon's retirement. So so exactly what is going to happen? How much of an effect will it have tonight? I don't know. I mean, I could see someone like Triple H writing in, Brock writing into the fact that Roman tonight, Brock's going to come out, he's going to distract you, and he's going to cause you to get pinned. I could see that. I could see that being something that happens. Not saying it will. I could I could see him pushing the Judgment Day, or even dismantling the Judgment Day, saying, "Finn, this is not you. We brought you in to be who you are." So yeah, this is good news. This is really good news. And again, it's it's gonna it might be something it might be something a lot of people are looking forward to. And what's ironic, you know, what's ironic is the fact that according to them, the stock basically, I'm trying to say the stock went up. So so yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to hear about. Again, what a birthday present, man! What a birthday present for me. Damn. Damn. What a birthday. In fact, and I share the same birthday as Finn Balor, Prince Devitt. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, and there are some people that are saying don't expect any changes straight away, and that's the one thing. I think there might be some slight changes, alterations to at least make the hype for SummerSlam a little bit better in the future. Um, so yeah, this is happening now. Again, I know people are kind of worried, if you will. I know some people are kind of worried that this might be all for naught. Whoa, what's this? Hmm. Let's see. Whoa, this is interesting. They talk about a big news. I wonder if this is the big news they're talking about. They said WWE's 8K states the company found $14.6 million in payments by Vince McMahon that should have been recorded as company expenses. WWE will reissue financial statements for 2019, 2020, 2021, and quarter one 2022. Hmm, interesting. Interesting. But yeah, this I even mentioned what a birthday present is is to wake up to. Triple H now in charge of Federal Creative, but again, don't expect much changes. I mean, if anything, you might get some tweaks. I mean, if but you might get some tweaks and all that. Um, but I can say this. I can say this. Again, you might get some tweaks and more promotion, more emphasis on what needs to be focused on. But I guarantee you, after SummerSlam, that's when it's all going to change, and it's going to change mostly for the better. Um, it's not going to change. Like I said, it's not going to change, overnight, but it's going to change. And I will say this, honestly, Triple H, I mean not Triple H, but Tony Khan over at AEW. I will say this, he he's going to be in for quite he's gonna be in for quite the fight, if you know what I mean. Now he's gonna be in for quite the fight because I don't think he um I don't think he realizes now what he's gonna be in for. Because now he's not just going up against someone that's in his age range from a CEO a chairperson perspective, but he's also going up against someone that creatively has more experience in wrestling and has shown they can do better. And like I said, I know some people are going to find it hard to believe that this is going on, but we'll see. Now, will this bring back Sasha? Who knows? Will this bring back Naomi? Who knows? Will this, kind of have an NXT feel? Who knows? We have no idea yet. My thing is, a lot of them, like I mentioned before, you know, a lot of them, like I mentioned before, um, I've got a I've got a feeling that they're going to wait a couple of months. They're gonna wait a few months and everything because they're gonna be. There's a lot of people a lot of people that worked in WWE that left because of the conditions or let go. They're gonna wait. They're gonna wait to see if this is nothing more. Um, this is gonna be nothing more than a ruse to them, and they want to make sure it's not. So, um, that's why, is it going to bring people back? Is it going to entice them to come back? Yeah, but they're going to wait it out because, they want to make sure every single, you know, asset of Vince McMahon's is out. Because they don't want to take a chance of, hey, we did it. We're coming back now. And then all of a sudden, here's Vince McMahon. I'm back in charge, bitches. And bring Kevin and Bruce back with me. They don't want that. They don't want to be made to look like fools. So, um, I would assume that we're gonna basically have to wait and just be patient with it. In my opinion, just be patient. Period. With it. Okay, just making sure or something, guys. But yeah, we'll just have to be patient with it and everything. Hold on, let me check something here. Oh, no,
Smart move. Rayovac has Duracell power at a better price.
That's commercial. With it and everything. Hold on, let me check something here. Yeah, everything is working. I just want to make sure things are working, guys. If you hear anything, just want to make sure things are working. And again, I want to welcome you guys this morning to this live stream. Again, I do apologize for any lag that occurred, but this is the Venmo Cash App Super Chat live stream. Out there. If you're watching, I should say, this is the Super Chat Venmo live stream. If you have anything you want me to kind of give my thoughts about, you can do that directly through Super Chats. You can do that through Venmo, where I'll get it right away, along with Cash App, where I'll get it right away. And at Venmo, you could do it at Brian-Walmer-2, and at Venmo, Cash App. No, Venmo. Let me get some coffee, guys. It's early. I do apologize. There we go. Okay, so you could help me. You could do that at Venmo at Brian-Warmer-2 and at Cash App at BWRoses98. And like I said, Super Chats at here during the live stream. So yeah, any of you guys going to be joining? You got anything you want me to talk about? Give my thoughts on as best I could, or just want to wish me a happy birthday? That's up to you. Venmo at Brian-Walmer-2 and at Cash App at BWRoses98. I'll get it directly right away from right there. As well as you can check me out at you are right here on the Super Chats, and I'll get it like that too. So yeah, just letting you guys know about that. If you are interested, of that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Again, I do apologize for any lag that happened this morning with it, because obviously the computer laptops, if you will, they like to update themselves a little bit when they're not supposed to. They update themselves when they're not supposed to. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, like I say, they update themselves when they're not supposed to. Um, anyway, like I said, that's kind of pretty good news to hear coming out of WWE. Will the changes happen immediately? No, that's a given. That is a given. It's not going to happen immediately. We know that. You know. Um, but I think I honestly think that um, I honestly think that the reason the change is happening immediately, although they're gonna, like I say, tweak some things. The reason the change is happening immediately, in my opinion, is because they want SummerSlam to be a hit. They want it to be a hit. They want it to essentially, be successful, and they want it to kind of be like a message being sent. And like I said, if I'm Tony Khan, I need to pay attention to this. I need to pay attention to this because this does concern me. This does concern me um, in the long run. You know, let's see. Okay, what's interesting? So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Interesting. I guess you could say ride over the next several weeks, months, um, as we move forward, if you will. But like I said, guys, if you're going to be joining me here, like I said, many options to help support the brand. Venmo at Brian-Homer-2, Cash App at BWRoses98, and on Super Chats as well. As a matter of fact, let me got text in here. Let me just add that right away. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it. Let me bring the font down a little bit. Let me get it to where you guys can see it a little bit better. There. And there you go. Okay. So right here in the middle, you see it. It says Venmo at Brian-Warmer-2, Cash App at BW Roses. For any of you that are joining me as we speak later on as well. But yeah, like I said, this is big news. You know, this is very big news. Um, and again, the changes won't be the changes won't be automatic. You know, as I mentioned, I think it's going to take time. I think what's going to happen is after SummerSlam, there's going to be a restructuring. And you know what? Do not be surprised if we do get some title changes. Or if we don't be surprised if we do get a cash in. Um, and when we get that cash in, things happen. Don't be surprised. You know, don't be surprised. Um, yeah, like I said, it's pretty great. It's pretty great. What else? Let's see. Oh, Balor's 2 years younger than me. Finn Balor, that is the WWE. He's 2 years younger than me. Interesting. So, yeah, if you hear any silence, I'm just looking through some of the Twitter here. I do apologize. Um, but yeah, there's other things that I wanted to come on and talk about. Yeah, again, it's just a birthday live stream to celebrate 43 years. Like I said, right there in the picture now, you can see it said you can if you want to help immediately, or you want to help celebrate my birthday with me immediately. Venmo at Brian-Warmer-2, Cash App at BW Roses 98, and of course the Super Chats if you have anything you would like me to give my thoughts on during this. Um, but yeah, it's But yeah, it's an interesting time. Um, to be a fan. But also, but to be a wrestling fan, I should say. But again, it's not just wrestling news that's come out and everything. There's also been of course, San Diego Comic Con with its initial announcement. I mean, the fact that basically they've announced the entire slate for Phase 5 and 3 out of the 4 shows for movies for Phase 6. And I gave my thoughts on what the other 8 announcements will be at D3 for Phase 6. I believe there's going to be Young Avengers, there's going to be a She-Hulk Season 2, there's going to be Ms. Marvel Season 2, or Doctor Strange 3, and that's during the fall of 2024 and winter of 2024, 2025. And then I said I believe there's going to be an Alma, then I basically said that Alma Wars is going to be in there in the spring of 2025 along with the Black Widow series. And then after that I said basically I actually changed my mind a little bit, kind of rearranged it at the end of the video, because initially I said otherwise, but I do believe after Avengers the Kang Dynasty we're going to get either a limited World War Hulk Disney Plus series or a movie, and the excuse me, and the same will be said for the X-Men Mutant series or movie that'll be around the same time frame, which is summer 2023. And then of course we got Secret Wars after that. And then I mentioned, in my opinion, that the last thing that will close out 22, not 2023, but 2025. And then I said the thing that comes out after Secret Wars would be Loki season 3 to go into 2026. That's what I think is going to happen, in my opinion. You know, I think, again, like I said, I believe, like I said, before we get to Fantastic Four, we're going to get the Young Avengers series. After Fantastic Four's release, we're going to get She-Hulk season 2. In the winter of 2023 and 20, not 2023, but let me come up with that. Okay, let me rewind. Like I said, it's early. I'm still waking up. Gotta drink some more coffee here. So I do apologize for that. And again, guys, if you're joining me, Venmo and everything would be greatly. Venmo at Brian-Warmer-2 and Cash App at BWRoses98 would be great ways to help donate to expand my channel, get it bigger, and also help me celebrate my 43rd birthday, and super chats as well if you have anything you would like me to talk about. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, basically I feel with Phase 6 that the 8 projects that are going to get announced at D23, again just speculation, is Young Avengers series before Fantastic Four, She-Hulk season 2 after Fantastic Four, and then in the winter of 2024 2025, we're going to have the Doctor Strange 3 movie and season 2 of Ms. Marvel. And then in the spring, we're going to have the Alma Wars series and the Black Widow series. Then we're going to have Avengers Kang Dynasty. And then in between that Avengers movie and the Secret Wars movie, we're going to have a World War Hulk movie or limited Disney Plus series. And the same for the X-Men Mutants um, uh, franchise. It's either going to be a movie or a limited Disney Plus series. Then we're going to have Secret Wars, and then after Secret Wars, to close out 2025 and into 2026, we're going to get Loki season 3. That's just my speculation. Others have their own, and that's fine. You know, be that as it may. Be that as it may. They, um, like I said, what's the word? Okay, what's the translation? I'm just reading some comments here. I'll get to those in a minute. But yeah, everybody has their own speculation. Some believe it's going to be. Some have similar ideas. Like some believe we're going to get a World War Hulk announcement in there at D23. Others believe we're going to get Secret Warriors Eternals 2 announced. You know, basically everybody, has their own ideas. Mine, I just feel are the more likely in some kind of scenario, but I could be wrong. I could be actually wrong, but we'll see. We'll just have to wait till D23, and that was just a cable on the headset around the mic there. I do apologize. But like I said, we'll just have to, wait and see as I adjust the mic a little bit there. As I always say, we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, I'm just reading some comments from the two last videos I put up yesterday and very early this morning. For example, I have two comments here from the video I did that got uploaded around 12:30 a.m. in the morning, basically, today on my birthday, before I fell asleep. And two of them, and it's going to be more, obviously. Two of them, one of them says that, and thus the reboot is destined to fail. So I'll approve that. And then the other one, which is under the name Montana Max Rules, says, everyone has been going nuts about this on Twitter. I'm also mad that they decided to make Babs and Buster and Babs twins. That was not a good idea. Yeah, so not a lot of people are in favor of this. And neither am I because, I have, I bought the first volume. Frank Keel sent me all the other volumes. I have How You Spent Your Vacation on DVD and VHS. I have the original VHS actually of that. Um, you know, I have somewhere stored away. I have um, a spring breakout or the spring breakout special on DVD, courtesy I think of Jay Foxfire, I believe. And then I have VHSs of the special Night Ghoulery and several episodes that they released. And when you look back at some of those episodes, you look back at how I spent my vacation. Heck, you look back at the wonderful Tiny Toon Christmas, and as I said in the video, in the audio video yesterday, and everybody else is pointing this out, it's going to make it feel awkward. It's going to make it feel weird. And this shouldn't be because of some political BS. This shouldn't be because of some political BS. You know what I'm saying? And what's funny too is I'm limited right now. I don't know why I'm limited. On this, so I'm gonna save. I'm gonna take off the monetization just for right now, and now I'm gonna put it back. So maybe that might fix it. We'll see. It still says limited. Yeah, that's the one thing about YouTube, and they even kind of admit it themselves that basically um, not all the checks are finalized. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I have to change the description or in there because there are some things. So maybe if I do this, I'm just going to change it up a little bit. Maybe that might help, but I don't know. All right, looks like I got to do a word correction here too. There we go. So yeah, it's still limited. Again, hopefully that might change itself. The thing about the limited monetization is the video. Basically, the description is the video is running limited or no ads due to content identified not suitable for most advertisers. That's going to probably change to a positive. It says it remains fully playable and it's eligible to earn subscription revenue from YouTube Premium. So in other words, I'm still going to make money, through subscriptions and ads, but may not be as much as I was hoped for. But I think it will be because over time I think it might change and all that. But yeah, not a lot of people were happy with that announcement. They weren't. I mean, a lot of people feel that it's not the right decision. And I think over time, Warner Brothers is going to basically have to acknowledge that. They're gonna have to acknowledge that, and they're gonna have to get on the creative team and say, "Hey, look, why don't you do this for an upcoming episode?" And basically make it a dream sequence for Buster or Babs, so they dreamed that they were siblings, but they're not. That makes more sense, in my opinion. That makes more sense, more tremendous sense, in my opinion. And again, guys, if you're just joining in, you got any topics you want me to talk about and all that, you know where to go and everything. I don't know why it's why it doesn't say live or anything on here, so I don't know. But like I said, you know where to go. It's Venmo at Brian-Womber-2, Cash App at BWRoots98. If you want to help donate to the channel, help me celebrate my birthday in that manner, as well as if you got anything you want me to talk about or give my thoughts on as best I could, that'd be the best way to go. Excuse me, as I have a little bit of an itch and my finger hit the mic there. And also, super chats, super stickers would also be appreciated. But yeah, a lot of people like myself feel it's not a good idea. It's not the best idea because, like I said in the video, what's next? Plucky and Shirley going to be related? Come on, seriously. So hopefully they have it set up to maybe at the end of the first season because there's two seasons. You know, one of them wakes up and we find out it's a dream sequence, just like they did with the Bob Newhart show, where he woke up and found out that his and what we were watching on for that entire run was nothing but a dream on his part. Hopefully, maybe they pull something like that out. We don't know. It will be interesting to see in my opinion. It'll be interesting to see what they do, how they approach this in the coming months and the coming season. And like I said, I hope we're wrong. I hope we're wrong. I hope this is just nothing but a massive troll job so that when we tune in and watch the first episode, we find out that's not entirely true. I hope that's what it is. If not, again, it's a big mistake. It's a big mistake, in my opinion. And, that's all I'm going to say on it. Um, Otherwise, though, what else do we have? Oh, yeah. The other thing I did audio video on yesterday. The other thing I did an audio video on was the Sonic news coming out of San Diego Comic Con for IDW. Like I said, not really much coming out, but just enough. The key things that I kind of picked up on was the fact that Whisper's making her return. Pretty much that was spoiled with one of the covers for the upcoming issues in the next story arc, as well as they got plans for her and Tangle going into 2023. Uh, and what else? Oh yeah, and then of course finding out the behind the scenes information of it taking like 3 months just to really get something going for a story, because they have to um, not only get the approval of IDW and the Sega representatives there, but they have to translate everything to Japanese, send it to Sonic Team. I'm assuming by email to get their approval as well on what they can do. So yeah, it's one of those situations to where, like I said at the end of the video, you could sarcastically thank Ken Penders for doing that because you know look at what it resulted in. Look at what it resulted in. It did not pan out very well. I'll put it that way. It did not pan out very well at all, in my opinion. It did not pan out very well at all. So, so yeah, you could sarcastically thank him for doing that, because now instead of just letting the comic breathe a little bit and letting the fans have something they can enjoy. Not saying that the book isn't enjoyable, it is, but instead of just letting fans enjoy it in the way they want to enjoy it, now they have to go through all these channels just to make sure, hey, can we do this? Can we do that? How far can we take this? What characters do you want in? Or like, what characters can we bring in right now? Or you want us to hold off on? All that kind of jazz. I mean, they even said basically that Surge and Kit were supposed to be in the comic a lot earlier, but they were told to hold back on them, which opened the door positively, I guess, for more character development for Starline. Yeah, that to me is that to me, is an example of, okay, that these we could have saw these characters a lot sooner, and they could have gotten some good character development. But the exchange for that is Starline gets a little bit more character development before he apparently dies. But I don't think he died or anything. I think he survived, but he's going to be more crazy over time, if you know what I mean. It's going to be more crazy over time. But I did talk about it. That gave my thoughts on it, and I had one person comment 3 hours ago saying that they do not see a Tangle and Whisper pairing. Or this is what Ma 2970. Okay, this is what Ma 29732 said 3 hours ago in a comment. They said, "I'm not seeing a Tangle slash Whisper pairing. I could see Surge becoming bisexual just to mess with Sonic's friends, both male and female alike, but until I see more information, that's about it." So they're not buying, a possible shipping of Tangle and Whisper, even though it's been pretty much teased and put out there, you know, for years now. And then, like I said, and like I said in the video, you get the examples of how not Tangle, but how Whisper felt about Tangle being metallized and then being restored. I mean, the examples are right there, my friends. The examples are, right there. And it's, it's just something that, you know, you should capitalize on, in my opinion. If you're IDW, you should capitalize on it, no matter what the situation. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to think. It's crazy to think that they wouldn't do that, and I think they will. I just what it is, it's just like with Surge and Kit. It's about timing. It's about patience. And I think they're just waiting for the right time to make that happen. But again, you got to remember the way they're. I think the one thing that holds it back, which some people are saying, which is why this person here, Ma 29732, is saying, is because of what I mentioned. They have to send the ideas over to Sonic Team, translate those ideas and the story concept and everything into Japanese to get their approval. And we know in Japan that, and it's been noted that in Japan, they frowned upon, I think it is Japan and I think China, one of those two countries, if not both, they frown upon, um, bisexualness. They frown upon LGBTQ relationships. They feel it's inappropriate. And there are punishments for it. There are, jail sentences. There's even more than that. That's in some countries it's even worse. Some countries it's even worse. So yeah, I can understand why they feel they don't see that. And hold on, guys, I gotta go use the facilities real quickly. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Well, when you have to go, you have to go. You know what I'm saying? Um, but anyway, getting back to what I was saying, before I do, remember, live chat, super chats are open, and along with super stickers, if you want to help donate there, help me celebrate my birthday in that manner. And Venmo and Cash App are also open at Brian Walmer, at Brian-Walmer-2 at Venmo, and at Cash App at BW98. But yeah, like I said, I can, when you really think about it, I can understand exactly why they feel it. It won't happen. I can understand that because, it's one of those situations to where it's like, because they have to go through Japan a little bit, as I adjust the mic here a little bit more, but because they have to go through Japan and everything for approval through the Sonic team there, that there might be no chance that that would happen. And there's an old saying of never say never, in my opinion, and I truly believe that. I truly believe that you should never, never say never when it comes to potential things happening, in media, because it can happen and it probably will happen. You just got to, just be patient about it. You got to be patient about it, all the way through. You got to be patient about it, in my opinion. Okay, so yeah, that's what I wanted to say on that. Like I said, it's just a celebrate, it's just a little birthday live stream to help me celebrate my 43rd birthday. Again, guys, I know I'm repeating myself. At Venmo at Brian-Warmer-2 is one way to help me out. If you have anything you want me to answer or give my thoughts on, Venmo at Brian-Warmer-2, Cash App at BWRose98. You can send the questions as well as a $1 to $5 donation through those mediums, I should say, and I will automatically get it put it into my bank right away. As well as you can help me with the super chats as well here, which again would be greatly appreciated. Super chats, super stickers of a $1 to $5 donation, and also check out the Teespring store, guys, as well for items you can't get anywhere else. Um, but now I also want to talk about something that I've talked about before. You may have noticed that some videos have disappeared. If you do pay attention to that, I know I'm not the only one that doesn't pay attention to certain videos disappearing unless the user, the content creator, acknowledges it. And for me, a couple of videos did disappear, or I removed them. The one that disappeared was the recent new fan fiction video, which was focusing on Bunny and Tails being very, I'll put it this way, very intimate, if you will, and probably more intimate than they should. And not even a couple of days in, and YouTube flagged it. YouTube got it down. Well, I wouldn't say they flagged it. They just said it didn't meet their standards, and so it was removed. So not to take any other chances, I removed the other ones as well. I don't think anything else I put on there is going to be hurt or anything because it does kind of meet their standards as long as like it's not describing anything in a manner that shouldn't be describing it or even showing anything. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be okay. And so far, it has been. So thank God for that. But yeah, when it comes to those stories I put up, it's just hard to believe, ladies and gentlemen. It's hard to believe that these kind of stories are out there. The honest truth. It's hard to believe these kind of stories are out there because of the fact that you know you look at who Tails gets paired up with, and again, as I've mentioned before, it's not just Tails. Sometimes it could also be um, characters like it could be characters mainly um, like like Sonic, or it could be characters like you know what's the word I'm looking for? It could be characters like like Sonic, or even Sally, or even Alicia. That go through this, and or even Shadow and Rouge. You know, and sometimes the way it's done just really surprises a lot of folks. It just really surprises them because they're like, "Oh my God, I, I can't, I can't believe, that that's, that they, that that's out there." you know, that, these people, that, again, that's out there and everything. And yeah, it is, you know, um, I mean, the fact that you see Tails, you know, being given a lot, being the focus of a lot of these stories. I mean, here's the thing: you have the harem of Miles Tails Prower that's been going on. Last updated up to 2 weeks ago. You have My Son's Keeper. You have another take on harems for Tails. You have one that, believe it or not, I did request, but it was anonymous, called Wild Weekend, with him and Bernadette. Bernadette Hitchcock being Sonic's mom from the Archie books. Then you got At Home with Vanilla, Interrogation, Tails Twist, Tails Lustful Misadventures. You have Tuz the you have Tuz Was the Nut Before Christmas. Yeah, somebody actually put that together. My wife's friend, or my friend's wife, which was one of the stories I had up there, and I took it down because I didn't want to take no chances. But yeah, my friend's wife, um, and hold on for a sec. Trying to look at something here, and the cooler just went on. But like I said, you have my friend's wife, which is a one shot. Some of these are mostly one shots because even the writers know that, yeah, this is something that we don't know why it makes sense, or not why it makes sense, but we don't know why it's this way, but yet here it is. My friend's wife deals with Tails and Julie Sue. There's just a bunch of stories, just a bunch of stories, and Tails and Bunny, and it's not just like I said, it's not just Tails either. For example, you got um, for example, you have Sweet Royal Love, which is a remake. Well, is a fan fiction inspired by a fan fiction by somebody else called My Mother's Keeper, which was never finished. Between Alicia and Sally, mother and daughter, you have all that. You have all that, and it's and, again, it's just amazing to see all that, and it makes you wonder why people would do that. Excuse me. And I think it's because of the way Tails is designed as of late in a lot of the media. Whether it's the way he's designed, in in the games, Sonic X, the comics, the movie. It's like I think a lot of people look at him and they're like, and they kind of reimagine what he would look like when he gets older. So yeah, I guess that's what they're going with, which is, I guess logical, especially if you make the story, you know, go in that direction. If you catch my drift, if you make the story go in that direction. So yeah, it's really interesting. It's really interesting to see, exactly um, what what they do with this character in that manner. Um, but yeah, again, it's just you know it's just one of those situations that you wouldn't expect them to write stories about, but yet here we are. Yet here we are. Um, what else? What else besides that? And I do recommend, if you guys want to check those out, go ahead and do so. You don't have to take them seriously or anything. They're just like little fun takes, like holy crap, what is this kind of deal? you know, it's like it's actually kind of very comedic because it makes you laugh and holy smokes and everything. I didn't expect that. So I didn't expect that. So yeah, it was it's it's just crazy to believe those stories out there that are like that. What else? Oh yeah, well, I got you guys here. I do recommend something that I watched back when I first found out about it on YouTube, and I've talked about it many times, or several times, and that is the Invisible Kid. That's right. The Invisible Kid was a 1988 a movie, I should say, that starred Jay Underwood as a teenager that tried to recreate his dad's formula, and he found out that the formula he was recreating was an invisibility formula. So of course, a lot of hijinks, if you will, started to happen um, with it, and because of the hijinks, basically, um, like I said, because of the hijinks, you know, a lot of other people got involved with it as well. His best friend who got addicted to it. Basically, it was not like a real drug, but he just had to keep getting invisible because he wanted to see he wanted to go into the girls' locker room. But then you have China Phillips. Yes, if that name sounds familiar, the China Phillips of Wilson Phillips. You had her playing the love interest, and yes, she even gets into the act by going invisible, and even doing a little strip tease for Jay's character in his bedroom after she goes invisible. And you know that being a PG movie at the time, well, meant something. Was, I guess you can consider, very surprising at that time. Very surprising. Um, but yeah, it's a fun movie, and if they do remake a movie like that in the future, I think people will enjoy it. I think people would like it. Honestly, in my opinion, I think they would like it tremendously. if you want the honest truth. I think people would like it tremendously. So, so yeah, I think people would like it tremendously, in my opinion. And hold on for a second. Yeah, I think people would love it tremendously. And my finger just hit the mic there. I do apologize. Let me edit this for a second. I'm just trying to post this where I can. There you go. Let me try to do that again. Um, there you go. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, the Invisible Kid. Like it said, it's an interesting movie from 1988 that I highly recommend you guys check out because it is it's fun. It's like a little B level like film, but it is fun. It is fun to look at and see how even for something of that low budget they were able to make the practical effects the way they did. And believe me, they did tremendously. I mean, yeah, the video quality, like when you're trying to see it from the perspective of the person that's invisible walking around, is a little less to be desired. But again, this was a B-level movie. And you know what? I hope Nostalgia Critic, puts this on his freak show cinema thing, real soon. We know he's got to get to rock and roll next, eventually. But I think Invisible Kid would be something to put in there as well because it kind of falls in that category. It really falls into that category, if you want my honest opinion. Um, but yeah, that to me is something I think they should really look into down the line. I think it's something that any studio out there, whether they want to put it directly to streaming or theatrical or whatever, they should look into doing that. Speaking of streaming, one of the big I wouldn't say it's a big news item, but one of the items that came out this past week, even before Comic Con, but I'm sure people talked about it there, was the Munsters. The Munsters movie by Rob Zombie, which is basically a reboot retelling of the origins of how the Munster family came together. Yeah, the trailer didn't do it any favors. The first teaser seemed to be okay. The teaser, if they would have just left it with that first teaser, I think we'd been fine. But they had to put the trailer out. A lot of people criticized of how it looked like it was shot, basically, and because of the negative reaction it got, Universal, who's helping to distribute this, doesn't even want to put it on Peacock. They're putting it on Netflix. Now, some might say that there's a negotiation partnership, like some material has to go to Netflix because of this reason or that reason, and that might be the case here. But yeah, I don't think Rob Zombie expected his film to, end up in streaming when it did. Um, not when it did, but when he was making it. I don't think he expected that to happen. But yet, as I said, here we are. It is It is now streaming, or will be streaming this fall, eventually. Will be streaming this fall, eventually. What else? What else? What else is there? Um, Besides that, and honestly, if here's the thing. Some people look at the fact that Rob Zombie is parodying the Munsters here, even with the storyline of them going to Hollywood. Here's the thing. If you're doing a parody, just straight up say it. In my opinion, just straight up say that you're doing a parody. Because to me, if you just say you're doing a parody and all that, it makes a lot more sense, in my opinion. Because you're not, you're not basically teasing people with some. Because there's a lot of people that love the original series. I grew up on the original series in reruns during the 80s. I liked it. Just like I liked the Addams Family. And look, the live action Addams Families, when they did those were good. The theatrical ones. Even some of the direct to television video ones were good. Um, and I think they even said that the short lived live action series that they did afterwards, the new one, was alright. But then you take a look at the animated ones, and they kind of feel like even though the animation style was trying to stay true to the original comic strip style, that it just didn't do so well. And, they flopped. Um, and now you look at something like, the Munsters, and you think this is perfect for either medium. Why screw it up, right? But yet, here we are. It's one of those situations to where um, I think just the way the characters are portrayed, like from Herman to Lily to Grandpa Munster, you know, I think it's just the way they're portrayed is what's really turning people off. And, if they weren't portrayed that way, I think people would have a different tune. I really think they would. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, on it. But yeah, the Munsters movie by Rob Zombie's heading to Netflix, and we'll see how well it does there. We'll see how well it does. Um, yeah, we'll have to see how well it does. Again, it's just one of those things that it's I think the timing's just unfortunate. It's just an unfortunate timing for it. Um, when you think about it, it's just unfortunate timing, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm just checking something here. Ooh, that's not good on my birthday. -2. So yeah, guys, yeah, I'm at -$2.04. If you guys want to help me out financially, it'd be greatly appreciated through Venmo, Cash App, Venmo at Brian-Romer-2, Cash App at BW98. Those will automatically go to me, and I'll put them right into the account right away. Um, so yeah, if you guys want to help me out there, it'd be greatly appreciated, along with super chats and super stickers that will basically, appear later on um, down, next month or so for that potential check. But yeah, if you guys really want to help me out to support the channel, it'd be greatly appreciated too. Um, but yeah, it's But yeah, I think Rob Zombie should have known a little bit better about doing doing a movie like that and not making it into potentially a parody, you know, and you know, really ticking off a lot of people. And hello, Bugs, nice to see you. Thank you for the little GIF there. And again, guys, super chats, super stickers, you know, would be greatly appreciated. And immediately, if you want to help me out financially, Venmo at Brian-Romer-2 and Cash App at BWRoses98 would be great ways to go as well. Especially if you have anything you want me to talk about or give my thoughts on as best as I could. It'd be greatly. That's one great way to help me out, not only to celebrate my birthday, but to help me out financially as well. And speaking of my birthday, originally, well, here's what's crazy. When you do birthday celebrations or get togethers, plans kind of change. And my birthday is no different. My birthday is no different because originally I wanted to see Thor: Love and Thunder in theaters and then go out to eat. That was the original plan. Then it was decided, well, why not go to Dave and Buster's because of the new Dave and Buster's in Modesto where a Sears used to be. And I thought, was okay, that's cool with me, whatever you guys want to do. And then I find out yesterday that that has to be changed back to the original plan because of personal finance reasons on one of my sister's ends. And so it's back to that, which I have no problem with. I have no problem with. So unless something changes again and we do the other idea, the original plan is back in action to go see Thor: Love and Thunder, which is only about 2 hours apparently, and that's nothing to really get upset about and such. So it'll be interesting to see the movie on the big screen because I know some people have mixed reactions about it. But I wouldn't mind seeing it. I mean, I know some people might say, well, it's been out for almost a month, Brian. Why would you want to go see it? Here's the thing a lot of people don't see the movie automatically on opening weekend, they wait. My older sister wanted to see. Uh, my my older sister wanted to see Jurassic World Dominion. She wanted to see Jurassic World Dominion in theater, but she can't. But she never got a chance to, and now it's on demand. It's on Xfinity on demand. It's gonna probably be on Peacock soon. So she wasn't able to see it in theaters as she planned, but she was gonna see it even after it's been out for a few weeks. She still wanted to see it, but that never happened. And so to me, wanting to see Thor, even though it's been out since what about when did Thor open? Thor: Love and Thunder. Let me check here, guys. When did it open? It opened. Hold on, hold on. Let me see here, guys. Hold on. July 8th. So it opened basically about 17 days ago. It opened 17 days ago, only just about a little over 2 weeks ago. So it's not that old. I mean, I know that 45-day theatrical window before going to on-demand and streaming and all that. But yeah, it's not that old. It's not that old theatrical wise. So again, like I said, there's a lot of people that wait, because they don't want to deal with crowds and there still might be people there. I mean, the movie's still doing very well. It's getting close to 400 million apparently. Is that what they're saying? It says store closes in at 6 million, 600 million globally, and well, actually passes it according to some articles. Forbes says Thor: Love and Thunder, and Minions passed 600 million globally. So that's pretty cool. That's $600 million globally, and that's a good thing. You know, that's a good thing. So I'm going to be adding to that today um, when I go and see it. But yeah, it's it's nothing new because a lot of people, like I say, they wait. They wait a little bit. Sometimes if they have the money and everything, finances, and everything, yes, they go and see the movie on opening weekend. I mean, that's why I saw My Little Pony, the movie, the G4 movie, the weekend it opened on opening day officially. Well, that's why I saw it because I knew one there wouldn't be that much of a crowd, seeing as though it was in October. But also, but also, and his thing, I wasn't alone. There was a few families in there, but wasn't that crowded because I knew it was going to be crowded that night anyway, and it probably was. But that's why I chose to go see the movie when I did because I had the money and I was going to go see it. Um, but yeah, it's but yeah, I'm gonna go see that, and then just stretching here for a second, guys. Ooh, pop my elbow. You know, like how you crack your knuckles, pop your knuckles, like that. Pop the elbow right there too. But the plan basically, like I said, is to go see the movie and then go next door to Rico's, which is a pizza place where you can get pizza, you can get burgers, salad. I think you can get drinks as well. So, so yeah, it's one of those situations to where everything works out perfectly. It's like, oh, we see a movie, go next door, here's something to eat. End of story. There you go. Um, you know, end of story. There you go. Just checking something here, guys. Hold on. But yeah, I'm gonna. That's the plan right now. Oops, hit the wrong thing there. That's the plan right now to go see Thor: Love and Thunder later on today. That's the plan. So yeah, that's what we plan to do. Of course, I'm off tomorrow. Just in case, as well as I'm off on Wednesday. I didn't ask for Wednesday off; they just gave it to me. But then next week, my schedule changes, kind of back to a semi-normalness, to where every day except for Sunday and Wednesday, I'll be doing 4.5 hours. That could increase if they need help, but the reason it's getting back to that, I guess you can see, sense of work normalcy, work scheduling normalcy, is due to the fact that school's starting back up. A lot of the people that they've hired are going back to school, high school and all that, and some are getting ready to go to college at Cal State Stanislaus. So, so yeah, they have to really change things up to where those schedules of those people they hired has to be put into the evenings. Well, the schedules that they've had to cut because they've hired them on, because it's summer, will be increased again. It's a it's an interesting scenario, really is really interesting. But yeah, it's crazy that I'm gonna be turning. But yeah, today it's crazy I'm turning. It's but yeah, what was I trying to, oh yeah, it's kind of crazy that I'm turning 43 today. I've turned 43 today. It's hard to believe um, that that's even plausible. but yet here I am. And what's um, what's even weirder about it is last year I celebrated my birthday unemployed. The year before I celebrated as an employee associate of Walmart, and now 2 years later I'm celebrating it as an attendant, employee attendant of Target. It's kind of weird how things work their way around in that manner. It really is. And again, guys, super chats are open along with super stickers. You can help donate there, $1 to $5, and Venmo at Cash App. Venmo and Cash App, I should say, open as well. Venmo at Brian-Warmer-2, Cash App at BW Roses98. If you want to help donate to the brand, have anything you want me to talk about, you can also send it through there, and I will get it automatically right away. So that's Venmo at Brian-Warmer-2 and at Cash App at BW Roses98. So yeah, if you guys want to help out in that manner, it would be extremely grateful, and it would help me truly celebrate my 43rd birthday and allow me to have a little finances to spend probably later on. But yeah, just thought I'd remind you of that. Hold on for a sec. Got a bit of a itch behind the ear there. Kind of had an itch behind the ear. But yeah, it's hard to believe I've turned 43. Doesn't feel like it, but I've gone through a lot. Let's be honest, I've gone through a lot as a throughout my life. There's no doubt. It doesn't feel like it. It's like I look at all these moments that I've been through. From living in Kansas, and this video of me living in Kansas, you guys have seen that. To where it's like it just doesn't feel real. Like it never really happened, but yet here's the proof. You know, the proof is in the pudding, as they would say. But yeah, it's like yeah, I'm just grateful to be around, to be still be here and doing all these things. I mean, when I moved back here, I didn't expect the fact that not only would I have money to get what I want through unemployment, disability, and now work, but I wouldn't have expected to amass such an amount. If you know what I'm saying. I mean, the fact that I have a lot of Blu-rays, never thought that would happen. Got a PS4, an Xbox Series, an Xbox uh, S, if you want Xbox One X S. Potentially in the future, we'll get a PS5 and an Xbox Series X. You know, never thought anything like that would happen. I got a freaking 4K television, a 32-inch 4K television in my room. Did I ever think that was going to happen? No. But by the grace of God, it all has. By the grace of God, it all has happened. And I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it. I mean, would I have been able to do what I did the other day by, changing some stuff around? No. But by the grace of God, I'm here to do that. It's just, it's just hard to believe that 43 years, and there's pictures of me as a young kid in my room, just sitting on that hardwood floor, smiling at the camera, playing with my toys and stuff, and just, it's hard to it's hard to really fathom that happened. That happened at that time. It's crazy. I mean, this is an old saying that if you could write a book about your life story or some of the events and stuff you remember throughout your life. Uh, yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I've yeah, yeah, I'll get into that in a moment, but yeah, like getting back to what I was saying, you know, getting back to what I was saying, it's hard to believe when you look back at images like that, that a lot of that kind of stuff has happened, but yet it has. Um, a friend here says that when I saw Space Jam 2, you talked about how people don't like it, but you truly haven't given your review of the movie itself. And I do apologize for that because, of course, I may have been unemployed, but I was more focused on celebrating my birthday and all that. I'll just say this about Space Jam 2. I think it's alright for what it is. I think it's okay, for what it is. But I think what really gets under people's skin a little bit, and you can see it in the film. And look, I have no problem if you can do a crossover with any kind of property that you own. I say go for it, do it, get crazy with it. So I had no problem with the crossover. And again, I thought the movie was all right, but again, I could see why people felt that it was nothing more than a commercialized cash grab by Warner's because all you see all these characters showing up, and all these characters are part of shows and movies that you see on the streaming service of HBO Max. It's like it's an advertisement for HBO Max, and that to them that shouldn't have been what it was. It could have been more. And I think the ending too kind of took them out of it too as well because it's like seriously, you're gonna do this, the bugs and everything, and yet you find out, oh, psych, didn't really happen. It's like, come on, you know. Again, I could see why people didn't like it. I was cool with it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was okay. And like I mentioned, if you're gonna do crossovers, go crazy with it. Even if they're not the best decisions for crossing stuff over, and it makes your movie look more like a freaking advertisement for your new streaming service. I say go for it. It's a to me it's like a learning experience. Because if they want to do something like this again, they got to make sure not to make the movie a advertisement for their service and focus mainly on the story that they're trying to tell. And hopefully, with the people now in charge at Warner Brothers or Warner Brothers Discovery, in future Looney Tune movies and stuff that combine animation and live action, that won't be the case. So hopefully this is going to be a learning experience that David Zaslav will basically tell him, hey, don't ever do that again, because that was not what this movie was. That movie, in my opinion, was supposed to be. But I thought it was all right. I thought it was good. One advantage I will say about it, though, is crazy to say, and I think I've mentioned this already. The one thing that's crazy about it is if you have a Blu-ray recorder or a DVD recorder, or even a video capture device that lets you capture everything in one shot. Um, allows you to, like I said, capture everything in one shot. Um, I'll say this, during the whole situation that HBO, that Warner Brothers did and other studios did with the same day theatrical whatever, if you have a DVD recorder or a Blu-ray recorder or even like I say, a video capture device that lets you get a lot of stuff, if not the entire thing, uh, basically you were able to get a movie like Space Jam, you know, as your own and watch it whenever you want to watch it. So yeah, you know, you were able to record the movie and you didn't have to worry about your recorder stopping suddenly and saying copyright protected, copyright protected, copyright protected, copyright protected. It just kept recording. It's happened with Netflix. I'm sure it's happened with Disney Plus. So it's if there's one thing that these streaming services need to work on, it's protecting their content. Because, you know, one thing that some people like John Capia, bring up is the fact that, you know, these studios don't realize that when you do, or when you did, I should say, these um, same day, you know, um, what is it, same day moves and everything, same day theatrical and streaming, that you open the door for the movie to be recorded, in various ways, so that people don't have to spend money on a theatrical ticket and they could just watch it at home anytime they want, not just through the streaming service. But if they lose their streaming service, they could just plop in the Blu-ray or the DVD or the capture device, and there you go. There you go. So yeah, these studios need to do something about that, because there's been numerous amount of times to where people like me have recorded stuff, and we haven't had to worry about protection or anything stopping the recording from happening, because the studios don't do that. They don't. They don't. So it's it's one of those, like I said, situations to where it's like, you know, if you're David Zaslav, hopefully he addresses it, and he's like, you know, it's like, you would probably think that when you would think something like David Zaslav would be like, yeah, like, yeah, we need to prevent this from happening. We need to stop this from happening. And maybe they might. I don't know. Maybe they might. I don't know. But again, guys, for those of you that are joining me right now, if you want to help me celebrate my 43rd birthday, Super Chats, Super Stickers are one way to do it. If you have anything you want me to give my thoughts on as best as I could. And if you want to help me directly right away, Venmo at Brian-Romer-2 and at Cash App at BWRoses98 is another way of doing it as well. But yeah, like I said, if I'm David Zaslav, I really just do what I can, honestly. I do what I can honestly to prevent that kind of stuff from happening, because you can't tell me he's not getting word of, oh, this is one thing we didn't do, and people are getting the movies and stuff like that. So anyway, hopefully that changes in the near future. Um, what else? Oh yeah, I wanted to get this out. I want to talk about this too. We can go back to Tiny Toons and everything, and I know a lot of people are not thrilled. I don't know about Bugs, if well, it's not the real Bugs Bunny, but it's the person that uses the name. I don't know if you're thrilled by the idea that Buster and Babs are now going to be portrayed as twin siblings instead of, you know, not related, which, as I mentioned earlier, makes that whole makes looking at what they did in the original kind of awkward now. I mean, heck, there was a cameo they did in Animaniacs do it in the short Noah's Lark, where they were two of the animals that were boarding the ark, and they said the iconic line of Buster and Babs, Bunny, no relation, and then you have the character portraying Noah saying, "I hope not. This is a kids show. Oh, or this is a children's show." So, yeah, it's like it's making cameo appearances like that. All the other things in the show prior to Animaniacs, Tiny Toons that is, look very awkward now that they're going to go in this direction. It just doesn't make sense. It's like I said in the video. You know, it's like I said in the video. What are you going to do next? Make Bugs and Lola related? What sense does that make? It doesn't. Does making Heathcliff and Sonya from the Heathcliff comic strip and shows related? Does that make sense? No. Does making Cleo and Riff Raff and the Cadillac Cats, related make sense? No, because people know that they're supposed to be boyfriend girlfriends and not love interest. You know, is making Sonic and Amy related, you know, a good idea? No, because people know that and has always pursued and has a thing for Sonic. Even though they've toned it down, it's still there. So it would make it very awkward if Sega decided, hey, let's make Amy Rose Sonic's sister. It's like it don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense. Period. But yet, there you go. There you go. So yeah, it's not a good idea, like I said earlier. But one thing I do hope that they keep in there, as I've mentioned before, is the lustful milk egg. I hope that's in there because, like I said, the idea of the performing arts, you know, the idea of the performing arts concept and everything, you know, the performing arts deal opens up a huge amount of possibilities. And let's see, what does my friend here say? He says, my friend here says in response, I always thought no relation meant they're not related, like not siblings. Oh, no, no, no. No relation meant there was no family ties. She had her own family, he had his own family. There you go. I mean, here's the thing. They did this short called Dating's Do's and Don'ts, right? Come on, seriously. And then how does she end it? She kisses him on the lips. How do they end 13 something? Kisses him on the lips in private. Um, what does she do in the Looney Beginning pilot? Dresses up like Jessica Rabbit, kisses him on the lips. I mean, and then what does he do in Wonderful Tiny Toon Christmas? Kisses her and she melts. Come on, seriously. It makes moments like that seem very awkward. But getting back to what I was saying, the performing arts concept, in my opinion, really opens the door for a peripheral or a platform, I should say, full of possibilities. And like I said in the one video, I'm hoping that we get a a class. Whether it's a 30-minute episode, whether it's a short within 30 minutes, I hope we get a class where the assignment is for the male or female characters to make the other melt into a puddle. In other words, swoon them so much, be romantic with them so much that the end result is they will melt into a puddle or something like that. That basically make them melt is what I'm hoping that they do. Because again, Tiny Toons, in my opinion, was the first show in a long while, in over several decades, to bring back that gag. Now, if there was any show before that that brought back that lustful milk gag, let me know in the comments and in the live chat. But to me, Tiny Toons was the one. Um, what I'm trying to say is, Tiny Toons was the one that brought it back to the forefront. So I hope the lustful milk egg makes a return here. I really do. And again, because again, like I said, the performance arts concept opens the door for that to be a study, for that to be a class for them to, perform, to do performance arts on and everything. So I'm hoping we get that. I'm hoping we get something like that. And my friend here basically said some people think Lola is Bugs' daughter, and Bugs is still with Honey Bunny, even though Honey Bunny was Lola's original name. Well, that's true because you see little behind the scenes information. Honey Bunny was his girlfriend back in the 60s, 70s, and even early to mid 80s, and up throughout the 90s, and well, up to about the mid 90s and everything. She was his girlfriend mostly in the comic strips and promotional material. That's what she was from the 60s up to the mid 90s, if you will. Oh, up to the early to mid 90s. She was his girlfriend through promotional, through the comics, through promotional artwork and stuff. She had various design changes. Um, but when Space Jam came around, they said, Honey Bunny, you're getting a makeover. And thus Lola Bunny was born. And here you go. Here's Lola Bunny. You know what I'm saying? And we've had different incarnations of Lola. and I like it. The new one that's coming up with Bugs Bunny Builders, even though that's supposed to be aimed at a younger audience, it's like I said, it gives me vibes similar to Friendship is Magic. To where originally it was meant for younger audiences, mostly girls, and look what happened. It's giving me those kind of vibes, but not entirely. Not entirely. But it's giving me those kind of vibes. That's what it's doing, in my opinion. So I could see her going through a loony situation to where not only does she scream when her ears come off her head or she tangles up her limbs like we see in the sneak peek, but I could see her going through a situation where she melts into a puddle. I could see her getting flattened by a steamroller by accident. Even though she has this, I think she has the steamroller. I think she has, but I could see her getting flattened by her own steamroller. I could see her getting buried in underneath a bunch of dirt, and then you just see her eyes and fake. You just see like her eyes and her mouth appear on the dirt after she's covered by Daffy. So I could see that happening. I could see kind of those kind of loony situations happening and all that. I could see her, falling to pieces like Bugs did in the sneak peek, but instead she's covered in cement by accident, and when they try to crack her out, she just falls apart along with the cement. I could see that. And according to my friend here, it was Lola Rabbit first, after Honey Bunny. Yeah, that's the one thing when you create a character or you remake a character into someone new, you always come up with different names during the early drafts before you settle on something more aesthetic or more sensible. But yeah, like I said, Bugs Bunny Builders is giving me those vibes, especially with the way it's pretty much going to be a hybrid of an amalgamation of, hey, it's going to be for younger kids, it's going to have educational lessons and all that, but oh, they're still going to be authentic to the loony selves. Okay, that's cool with me. It's cool with me. Um, and like I answered before, back on Saturday, um, I truly believe Lola will be in the new Looney Tune shorts that we'll be getting on HBO Max in their new season. But just like with Wabbit, the new Looney Tunes show, formerly Wabbit, I think it'll be towards the end. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but I think that's where she'll be showing up. Because you saw it with the new seasons of the Wabbit slash new Looney Tunes show. That's when she showed up. I think the same is going to be said here. That's just my belief. It's just my belief there. Not saying it's going to happen, but I think it makes a lot of sense. I really do. I really do. Um, but yeah, getting back to what I was saying though, as far as Tiny Toons goes, I hope the Lustful Milk Egg makes a return there too. I really do. You know, it'd be crazy though if they were to do that gag with its Lustful Meld or just kind of a milk gag. You know what they should do as a performance, as part of that, is have them come together. Like, let's say you have Buster and Babs, they're supposed to be twin siblings, which is still not a good idea. Why not have them both melt and then slither towards each other and merge into one? Basically, creating a fusion kind of deal and maybe showing how artistic they can get with, the melting and, what happens afterwards. You know, they could do that and that would be interesting. But again, the lustful milk egg has always been, I don't know why, it's always been very intriguing, interesting, and fan favorite trope of mine. Um, Ever since Paulet's Voo's Woos, the 1956 Popeye short, where at the end Olive basically tells Popeye she feels like butter in his hands, and she literally melts into a flowing puddle of butter with just her smiling face on the puddle, and you see how she's flowing the down the floor. That little dry spots are coming up, and there's even as it starts to fade to black, iris out, if you will. or fade out, I should say. You see like a little dry spot right near her eye, and almost like it's like basically it's well right near not well yeah it's near her eye or literally on her eye to where it looks like her eye's gonna dry up and everything, and she's just flowing down the floor. It's not the first time she's even said that line either, but the other time it kind of accumulates to her basically being flattened by a piano as she's trying to run away from it down the stairs, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's always been an interesting fan favorite of mine because it's like all the unique ways it happens, what happens afterwards and stuff. I mean, Minerva Mink, for example, when they had her do it in Moon over Minerva and Meet Minerva, two different scenarios. Moon over Minerva, she melted, and of course it was in conjunction because Wilford, in his nerd form, melted earlier in the short, and then she melts in front of his Fabio alter ego. And then what does he do? He picks her up like she's a wet towel, wrings her out and everything, as such, just to just to restore her. And I've always joked that the way she did the gag there, the way she did the lustful milk gag there, excuse me, is Wilford, even in his alter form, could have gone, got something to eat, went and saw a show, came back, and Minerva would still be lying there as a puddle, and he could just, again, as we see in the short, pick her up and wring her out to restore her, and she wouldn't know exactly what happened because time would have passed, and like I said, he could have gone off, saw a movie, got something to eat, came back, and she'd still be lying there as a puddle, you know, because her eyes were closed, and she was just totally committed to being the puddle. She was nothing but a puddle. That's what her thought process probably was. Um, and I even mentioned that somebody that posed as her on Facebook with a Facebook group page, and I played along with it. They even acknowledged as her that it was like going into a deep sleep. It's like she fell asleep. She took a nap, if you will, and that Wilford winging her out woke her up. Like I said, Wilford waking her, ringing her out woke her up. But then the second time, of course, is she literally runs into her best friend's cousin's arms and melts right through his arms, melts right through his fingers, and she splits when she melts. Like he's holding her and she melts, and she literally just goes from one end, melts down one end, and then melts out the other end, and just comes together as a huddle on the ground. But unlike the previous time, she does reform herself into a loud, obnoxious boat horn and everything. But it's not but it's not the last time either, because even in the comic strip, she kind of melts a little bit when she sees this clerk in a mall when she's shopping, and her line is, "Man, is it hard in here, or is it just you, or is it just me, or something like that?" So yeah, I was glad they brought it back in Tiny Toons. We saw that with in Looney Beginning. We saw that kind of in its own unique, different kind of way in Europe in 30 minutes. Acme Bowl, um, Wonderful Tiny Toon Christmas, Pluck Tracy, you know, we've seen it, and I'm hoping it comes back. It didn't come back in the new Animaniacs show, which is kind of surprising, but I'm hoping it comes back here because if there was any show back in the '90s that reintroduced that gag, it was Tiny Toon Adventures, and I'm hoping Tiny Toon University, with the concept of it being performance arts, you know, brings it back. I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping they bring it back because it would be fun to see. And you got characters in there that've never done it, like Fifi. Can you imagine Fifi doing it? And all you see is like a purple puddle with her face on it. I mean, come on, seriously, that'd be great. Same with Shirley and Sweetie. I mean, come on, seriously, it'd be great to see. Um, but yeah, I hope they do bring it back. I hope they do insert it into the story. I mean, yeah, I know the concept is about discovering yourself and who you are in college, as at the same time as attending a performance arts school. But again, to me, honestly, you can't, you know, to me, what I'm trying to say is having that concept, that synopsis is great, but you can't. have a concept like performance arts school without doing something Tiny Toon wise, performance arts wise, that makes sense, in my opinion. That really embodies what Tiny Toons and Looney Tunes have been about, the crazy, wacky zaniness and all that. So I'm hoping that gag comes back. And again, I'm hoping some of the things that I believe will be like personality traits for the characters, does come to pass. I really do. I hope Babs, is a lover of taking bubble baths, and she takes them once in a while in the show, and even sometimes submerging completely under to when she pops back up, she's completely covered from ear to toe in bubbles, or she submerges under completely, and then we just see like her face appear on the bubbles, her eyes and her smile and all that. Just relaxing and everything. I hope we see something like that. I hope we see that Buster is secretly a pro card game player like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. I hope we find out that Plucky is a game player behind the scenes. Hope we see that Hampton is I hope what's the one look at? I'm hoping like I said, I'm hoping Hampton is a guy that secretly wants to be a straight A student. Hoping Sweetie is a vlogger and stuff. It looks like Fifi is going to be a barrette girl. That's great, but I think Fifi as a barrette girl should also have something outside of that. And I think what she should have is being someone that, I don't know, writes romance novels or secretly writes little romance advice columns and everything under a different alias. I think that should be her deal. And then Shirley, she's still kind of the way she is, very centered and all that. But I'm hoping maybe outside of that, maybe she's, a rocker. Maybe she likes hard rock music or alternative music, you know, much to the surprise of a lot of people. I'm hoping that happens. I'm hoping that happens because to me, I honestly can't think of, you know, any different way to kind of show that there's, different sides to the characters. Different sides to the characters. And what's interesting too is, this characters people didn't think would show up. I mean, people thought because Peppy got canceled that Fifi wouldn't show up, but yet Peppy is obviously back because there's still merchandise of him being sold, especially at San Diego Comic Con. So obviously, that's a situation that they just kind of let blow over, and they probably thought was ridiculous and stupid, and just another cancel culture attempt to make a statement, and it failed. And now he's back, and that's the reason Fifi's here. And then you see in the promotional image, the one that was used in the video I posted early this morning, way early this morning, you see Montana Max and Elmira in the back, in this group shot as well. So yeah, Elmira's back. What role she's gonna play, I don't know. I don't know if her and Montana Max will be the antagonists of the show, which they might just be if they're in the background. Usually the main antagonists are sometimes always in the background, but we'll see. But yeah, she is going to be back too. So a lot of the worriness and some of the information that came out obviously has been false and everything. It obviously has been false, or well, not at first, but well, mainly it was. I'll put it this way: the whole Elmira thing, I think, was legitimate at first, but I think again, just like with Pepe, it was more of a it was more of a council culture kind of deal, and now that that's kind of dying down, it's like okay, let them let them have her in there because you need somebody that's still gonna view these characters as the opposite of Elmer. Because remember, Elmer's always been looked at as the hunter. What's the opposite of that? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But yeah, I'm hoping. I'm hoping honestly that you know I'm hoping honestly that she stays true to who she was in the original show, even with a bit of antagonist thrown in there, if you know what I mean. Uh, but yeah, it's nice to see though some of the worriness that we had has been for naught. I'm glad that they are keeping the characters true to, well, not totally true to who they were, but I'm glad they're keeping them in the series and maybe somewhat true to what they were. Again, the whole Buster and Babs thing, as I mentioned earlier, and as I mentioned in the previous video, it's not a good idea. It is not a good idea, in my opinion. And ladies and gentlemen, for those that are joining me, take a little break here. You want to help me celebrate my 43rd birthday? Super chats, super stickers are open. You could do it that way. And if you want to help me directly right away, Venmo at Brian-Warmer-2 and Cash App at BWRoses98 are other ways to go. Especially if you have something you want me to give my thoughts on as best as I could. All three avenues are best way to go. So that's Venmo at Brian-Warmer-2, Cash App at BWRoses98, and the super chats, super stickers are probably the best way to go if you have any thing you want me to give my thoughts on, as well as help me celebrate my birthday, again, those are the three avenues to go down. If you want, go down, and all you have to do is donate $1 to $5, and that's about it. It's not that big of a deal. Um, but yeah, seeing those characters back, and kind of basically, you know, corals a little bit, or not corals, but kind of like you know, soothes the worriness that we had and everything. I think the reason Carice Summer was, you know, was not sure about about Elmira's character is because I don't think they called her back to voice her. I don't think they did. I think they wanted to get someone different because if they wanted the original voice cast, they would have got Trish McNeil to voice Babs again instead of getting this Ashley Harrington. But be that as it may, that's where we are. Now, as far as the show goes, when is it going to debut? It's supposed to debut later on this year. When that is, we don't know. Probably in the fall. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to it, and I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it's really good. I mean, obviously it is, or else they wouldn't have already ordered 2 seasons worth of the show. So I'm hoping it's really good. Um, but yeah, the but yeah the but yeah the idea of Buster and Babs being twin siblings, yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work in my opinion. And hopefully, like I said earlier, it turns out that it's a dream at the end of the first season. It turns out to be a dream, and it goes back to somewhat the status quo is. I'm hoping that. I'm hoping that. If not, I'm hoping that it's a troll job, and we find out that they're not twin siblings during the first episode, and there you go. So, again, I'm hoping that's what it is. I'm hoping that's what it is. What else? Oh yeah, She-Hulk. I wanted to talk about that. Apparently, she's going to be true to her original character in the comics, where she breaks the fourth wall, and it even throws, I think, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk character off. Like, huh? Were you talking about something? You can tell it's going to be a comedy. A lot of people make comparisons to Ally McBeal, and it probably is. So that means you got to have some fantasy moments in there. I mean, there's that one fantasy moment where she's, getting a cup of Java or something at work, and she's fantasizing being with the guy and them making out in this big, you know, tub of a big coffee cup tub of a Java with cream and everything. So, they gotta have something like that. I wouldn't say to that extent, but have something similar to it. And it looks like they're going to with her making love to a guy or something like that. And oh boy, is that gonna be an experience. Um, but yeah, she's gonna have her iconic outfit, obviously. So that's kind of cool. And it looks like she's gonna, and it looks kind of like, being like I said, it's not only staying true to her breaking the fourth wall and having an iconic outfit, but it's almost like it's staying true to the fact that when she becomes the She-Hulk, you know, her personality kind of changes to more of a sultry kind of businesswoman, with a heart of gold, and doesn't take crap from anybody. And it looks like, just like in the comics, they're positioning her to be a lot stronger than Bruce, as the Hulk. So yeah, it looks like it's an interesting concept. Looks like it's gonna be a fun comedic show. It's gonna have Daredevil show up, so that's a good, nice little not just nod to the original Netflix series, but it's also a great start to his series coming out. What was it? In, a year and a half or 2 years, basically. That's really cool. The question is, will this lead us into a World War Hulk situation? That's also being rumored for D23 as one of the stories potentially being announced for Phase 6. I don't know. I don't know. It'll be something to look at, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to how fun and crazy and unique this could get. You know, and really, that's about it. That's about it. Um, yeah, it's fun. It looks like it's gonna be a fun show, in my opinion. Looks like it's gonna be a fun show, in my opinion. What else? Oh yeah, I know I've talked about this before, but I highly recommend you guys check out I highly recommend you guys check out Desi Arts. In fact, I'll put a oops, hit the wrong thing there. In fact, I will put a link if I can bring it up with hopefully with no lag. Hopefully with no lag here, and I do apologize if there's any. Hold on. Again, hopefully there's no lag here. Let's see if I can find her. I have to look at the faves here. Look at my favorites gallery. First of all, one of the people I want to subscribe, have you guys check out is Mr. Internet Man. Check him out. His stories, his web comics, and collaborations with others is really good. In fact, he did a recent one that I've talked about called Agent Pink 2, Agent Pink, Bedlam's Revenge 2, which is basically an epilogue to the previous story, a very intimate epilogue between his character and another character and another creator's character. So check him out, if you will. And then let me see what else I can find here. I know it's in here somewhere. Here she is. Also check out Desi Arts because, like I said, Metamorphosized Malability series is great, and she's also done some side stories like the Unlimited, like Becoming Unlimited series, and recently Melting May, which is Melting Mia or Maya, which is spelled MEI instead of MAY, which is it's supposed to be a story, a parody, basically supposed to be a tribute to. It's Melting Mei, which is MEI. So yeah, check those two out. I think you guys will enjoy them. In my opinion, I think you guys will truly enjoy them down the line. And they're very creative. People, very creative people. Uh, what else? Oh, um, what else is there? I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, there was announcements that we're getting a new MLPG 5 story, but in book only. It has to do with Sparky Sparkaroonie, the young dragon, and he accidentally cast a spell that temporarily switches the cutie marks of Hitch and Sunny. Sound familiar? It should, because it's basically their take on Royal Problem. And this time around, it's going to be Hitch and Sunny trying to get used to the others' abilities and stuff and their responsibilities, and basically learning how to live a mile in one's shoes. So yeah. Even though it's reusing a concept from season 7, it's a very fun concept. So yeah, it's something to look forward to when it comes out and everything. I think in book form down the line. I think. Yeah, it's something to look forward to down the line. As looking down here. Oh, and by the way, Generations issue 4 just came out. So check that out if you will. That just came out. Um, and it is getting. And even though I think Master Code he reviewed it, he said it didn't feel like much really happened. It's usually the calm before the storm. So if you want to check it out, it is out there. And Master Code did do a review on it, so it's going to be interesting to see how they build towards the final issues or two of the crossover, in my opinion. It says here we have some pages revealed for the new My Little Pony Merry Christmas Every Pony storybook, which should hopefully still be Heartwarming Eve or Heartwarming. It's set to be released in November 2022, and it's nothing too extensive, but still need to see a little story, and it does give us a bit of a preview. It looks like of what we're going to get. It's Christmas time. I guess it is Christmas. How the heck? That. Hold on. That just does not make sense to me. So yeah, I think there's a miscommunication there. That's kind of interesting if that's true, but that might be just fan speculation. But yeah, basically the pages are there is a bit of miscommunication you can tell because it's like if they stay true to the original G5 stuff, G4, it should be heartwarming. So again, this is in the UK. It's early, so hopefully it might change things up. Oh yeah, I see what he's talking about. Out and everything. It's just like a little crossover picture of um, crossover picture between Izzy and Luna, where she's just she's having Izzy wear her crown and her little neck thing, and Izzy's like, "Ooh, so I can, so that's me. I can raise the moon now." And Luna's like, Not really, but I could teach you that spell when you're ready. So I think I see that kind of a vibe. I see that kind of a vibe, but it doesn't really show that they're like mother and daughter. But it would be interesting if they went down that path. I'll tell you that. It would be interesting. If they went down that path. And apparently my YouTube is not receiving video to maintain smooth streaming. I do apologize. It is about 9:11, a little after 9, so probably some other people are online right now elsewhere, and it's causing interference or something. A little bit of a lag, guys. It might be the fact that I'm on the Equestria Daily site. Um, Information has already come out that we're going to get our first volume of the My Little Pony IDW G5 comics. Basically a collection of all the first couple of issues, which is issues 1 to 5. They say the expected release date is way out on March 14th, 2023. So we have a long time to wait for it, and it's 120 pages. And you can find it over at sandmanbooks.com right now. So, so yeah, it's kind of cool, kind of interesting to see and everything. Hopefully, the streaming, the smooth video in this works itself out over time. Hopefully, it works itself out over time, guys. I do apologize for any lag. I really do. But hopefully, it works itself out. It says it's not receiving enough video. And again, I think it's because either they're working on something outside, or it's the fact that, basically, other people are on the internet as we speak. That's kind of weird. What could be causing the data to be unsmoothed, if you know what I mean? That doesn't make sense, in my opinion. Doesn't make sense. But yeah, a lot of information coming out, and we are only like I would say about a month away, actually 2 months away from the premiere of the series on Netflix. And then what's crazy is, according to a leak, days, literally days after that, you have the release of Sonic Prime. So within the span of less than a week, you're going to have the series premiere officially of of Make Your Mark Generation 5, and several days later you're going to have Sonic Prime, if the rumor is correct. Let's see. Yeah, we could have a comeback of Heartwarming and G5. Sunny could discover more history, and that could happen too. That can happen too, unless of course it's relayed that um, Sunset came back and she basically said that because both holidays are pretty much the same, they should just call it Christmas. That would be interesting to find out. But you know, I don't know if they're acknowledged that in the book. I didn't see all the preview pages, so I don't know if they'll acknowledge that in the book, or if they'll acknowledge that in the Christmas Winter special in November, if you will. So I don't know, but it'll be interesting. My theory too about the series, and again I've always stuck by this, is I think what's going to happen is we have our dragon in there, Sparky Sparkaroonie, and it's supposed to be like 26 episodes. Knowing Netflix, they'll split it into several different seasons. Um, like I said, probably um, like I said, they'll probably split it into several different seasons. And what I could see happening is, in one of the episodes, I could see Sparky Sparkaroonie going into a state similar to the mold, like a cocoon state, if they decide to do this. and he comes out basically being about the same age as Spike was when the series was progressing into later seasons. Just saying. Again, I don't know if they will. I don't think they will, but it would be something interesting. Because if you're gonna have a dragon character in there, instead of it being a baby dragon, why not have it be older? Why not have it be a dragon that understands and can help out? So that might be something they do. They might have him go into a molt-like cocoon state, come out, and all of a sudden, hey guys, what's up? You know, you know, something like that. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. But yeah, I can't wait for that series. And again, the ironic timing is a couple of days later, several days later, you have Sonic Prime come out, which I think is really cool too. But anyway, though, guys, I'm gonna probably wrap this up now. It's been going on for almost 2.5 hours. I really appreciate for to those that did show up in the live stream and will be watching later. I really appreciate all that, guys. Again, before I go, let me plug a few things here. First of all, if you want to help me out directly, right away, financially, for the brand and everything, and to celebrate my birthday, Venmo at Brian-Walmer-2 and Cash App at BWRoses98 are the best ways to go because not only can I potentially answer your questions later on in the video, but I will also automatically get the payment right then and there, or the donation right then and there that I can put into my bank. Also, if you want to help support me, the super thanks will be enabled after this has processed fully in the next 12 hours. The, like I said, the super thanks button will be optional then. And also in future premieres and live streams, especially some of the game live streams, super chats will be opened. Will be opened and would be welcomed, along with super stickers and all that. Also, guys, go to all my other locations, and don't worry, my friend, I will. Um, but again, go to all my other locations like BW Roses Discussions and all your favorite podcast affiliates except for Pandora. I don't know what's going on there with that. Also, check me out at deviantart.com, that's BVW1979. Also, check me out at fanfiction.com slash Brian.Walmer.1. That's the word, that's numeral one, I should say. Also, check me out at patreon.com at BW Roses. $1 gets you a shout out, $3 gets you a shout out, and access to content you can't get anywhere else till later on. And check out my Teespring store as well. You can see the advertisement there. You can find a bunch of items there you can't find anywhere else. And, you know, really, that's about it. Also, check out my TikTok as well for stuff I might post there and maybe later on here on YouTube. So, yeah, you can find me at a bunch of areas, guys, and I would really appreciate it as well. You can also find me at writing.com. Yeah, BW Roses on writing.com. You can find me there too. And now I'm back to excellent connection. I don't know. It's like I get towards the end. Now it gets back to excellent connection. But again, guys, you can check me out at all these affiliates. Fanfiction.net slash Brian-Walmer-1, numeral 1. Deviantart.com slash BVW1979. Patreon.com slash BW Roses, $1 tier. It'll get you a shout out. $3 tier gets you a shout out. And access to content you can't get anywhere else. BW Roses Discussions, all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora. Also, check out my TikTok at BW Roses and my Teespring store as well. And also, donate directly, Venmo at Brian-Walmer-2 and Cash App at BW Roses98. I'll get those directly and it'll help me celebrate my birthday, probably more so than I could ever. And also will help expand the channel and the brand. And super thanks will be enabled once it's fully processed, that being this live stream. And future live streams, premieres, and all that, super chats and super stickers would be greatly appreciated in that live chat. So until next time, guys, I hope you all have a good day. And thank you all for joining me in this special Venmo Cash App Super Chat live stream. And until next time, for my 43rd birthday, and until next time, guys, I will talk to y'all later. You all have a good Monday morning, afternoon, and